especially when you need to work together with people that aren't in the same office. So what do millions of small business professionals do when it's time to connect with remote clients and colleagues? They use Citrix GoToMeeting, the proven solution for meeting and collaborating online. Now it's your turn to see why. Visit GoToMeeting.com and click the Try It Free for 30 days button. That's GoToMeeting.com for your free 30-day trial. GoToMeeting. Meeting is believing.
More than 700 Quick Lane Tire and Auto Centers across this country, and she chooses mine.
I need tires, all season, and at a great price.
She wanted it all, but even she was surprised once I crunched the numbers. Soon her Taurus was ready to roll.
Say, you're good, Mr.
Murphy, ma'am, at your service, even on weekends.
With great prices on 13 name brand tires and no appointment necessary, Quick Lane is ready to serve. Visit quicklane.com.
When it comes to automobile service in Hampton Roads, Fink's Car Care is the destination locals have counted on for decades. Family owned and operated, they specialize in transmission service, oil changes, state inspection, radiator service, tires, alignments, and showcase Win automotive products. Fink's does it all. Military and senior discounts are available. Find them on Facebook and visit them on South Military Highway in Chesapeake and Victory Boulevard in Portsmouth, Monday through Saturday. For more, log on to finkscarcare.com and call 545-3573 today. Old Town Tavern in the heart of Phoebus is your place for a great lunch and dinner, specializing in fresh seafood, burgers, sandwiches, salads, appetizers, and much more. Open daily, Old Town Tavern has live music, pool tables, darts, HD TVs, and a most pleasing atmosphere. Find them on Facebook. Visit 31 East Mellon Street in Hampton with plenty of parking in the back. Call 251-2636, 251-2636, bringing great food and great people together. Old Town Tavern, the locals' choice. Chesapeake, Virginia, 1650 AM WHKT presents Sports Scene. Sports Scene features local, regional, and nationally acclaimed guests and excellent interviews. Follow Sports Scene on Twitter at Greg Bick and at GJBTV.com. Now here is Greg Bickavaris.
And thank you very much, Ken Johnson. Glad you're with us on this overcast, rainy fall, September 24th, 2014 in Hampton Roads. Greg Bickavaris along with Ken Johnson. Up until 1 o'clock, you're home for CBS News. This is Sports Scene, presented this hour by the India Palace, an interview show each Wednesday 12 to 1 right here on News Talk 1650. Listen to it on TuneIn.com, as I was yesterday, just listening to WHKT. Go to TuneIn.com, type in WHKT in the search box. Really, really easy. Also, sports highlights on NNPSTV.com. I want to welcome the Vice President in town today as well. This is your home for CBS News. And Ken, that's a big thing, too. The Vice President is in town in Norfolk today, so you know the traffic is going to be extra busy.
Yep, there goes the neighborhood.
There you go. Tell your friends about 1650. Twitter, at Greg Bick, at Sports Highlight, at GJBTV, and, of course, HamptonRoadsOnlineMall.com. That Twitter handle is HROnlineMall.com. Thank you to our military save the date coming up. NewportNewsGreekFestival.org. The fall edition, it's indoors. Don't worry about the weather. October 23rd to the 25th. For more, log on to NewportNewsGreekFestival.org. Great guest lineup as well. Sponsors on GJBTV.com. Marketplace sponsors. Also great guest lineup presented by HamptonRoadsOnlineMall.com. Kudos to my good friend Scott Long, who's got his billboard up on 64 heading eastbound in Newport News. You'll see his nice billboard for Long's Billiards. Phone line presented by Old Town Tavern in Hampton. Sponsors in September for me on Sports Scene, India Palace, Old Town Tavern, Newport News Greek Festival, Fink's Car Care, and Battlefield Guns and Ammo. And of course, GJBTV.com, HamptonRoadsOnlineMall.com. A lot going on. We're going to talk Ravens in the first segment with Tony Lombardi. A lot of drama with the Ravens. We'll get all the information after these messages. The tradition of the Newport News Greek Festival continues with the fall edition October 23rd through 25th. All of your favorite Greek food, beverages, desserts will all be on display at 60 Trafford Road in Newport News inside the Hellenic Center on the grounds of Saints Constantine and Helen Greek Orthodox Church. October 23rd, 4 to 9 p.m. and October 24th and 25th from 11 a.m. to 10 p.m. For more, log on to NewportNewsGreekFestival.org. See you at the Newport News Greek Festival Fall Edition, October 23rd through 25th.
Your family and their safety are your number one priority. Your homestead and your business and quality of life can give you peace of mind, but there are some bad hombres out there. Keep it all safe with the proper firearms and ammo from Battlefield Guns and Ammo. You can't take anything for granted, whether you're at the ranch or out on the trail. Call 757-410-7720. Log on to battlefield-guns.com and visit Battlefield Guns and Ammo at 240 North Battlefield Boulevard in Chesapeake.
The place for authentic Indian food is the India Palace. They feature authentic Indian cuisine, have a party hall, and do catering and banquets. Open daily for lunch and dinner, they showcase an excellent lunch buffet at their Chesapeake and Virginia Beach locations. Visit their 2 locations at 1437 Sam's Drive in Chesapeake off of Battlefield Boulevard and 5600 Virginia Beach Boulevard in Virginia Beach, and online at IndiaPalaceVB.com. On Facebook, look for India Palace Virginia Beach and India Palace Bar and Grill. Dine at the India Palace today.
Now back to Greg Bicaveras and Sports Scene in the Hampton Roads Online Mall.com studio.
Turn down for what? Turn down for what?
All right, this is your home for CBS News. What a great day to be on the interstate driving, listening to the radio. We are your source for entertainment today in Hampton Roads on this Wednesday. News Talk 1650 Sports Talk at a convenient hour from 12 to 1, not interrupting your morning, not interrupting your evening, from 12 to 1, the lunch hour right here on News Talk 1650. Twitter at Greg Bick, at Sports Highlight as well, at GJBTV and HROnlineMall.com. Well, this gentleman 10 years ago, I actually met him, talking about media topics. I'd started covering Ravens games since 2003. It's ironic this whole story is. And from 2003 to 14, still work a lot for CBS and Fox at Ravens games. I'll be working the Falcons game coming up on October the 19th. It's ironic. My sister got married, lives in the same area, not too far from Tony Lombardi, of course. And the Ravens have been in the news for all the wrong reasons. I remember years ago, Tony would ask me, what do you think about the national focus on the Ravens? And Tony Lombardi, welcome. The national focus has definitely been not about football.
No, it hasn't. And thanks, Greg. It's good to talk to you again. It's been something. It's a topic that I know that I would guess that the rest of the country is kind of worn out about. But I know in Baltimore the fans are just really up in arms, and it's like, can we move on and let these people have a chance to redeem themselves and get their lives in order without beating them to a pulp?
What's so good about this station today here is that, you can drive from Virginia Beach, Newport News, all the way almost to College Park on a day and hear it, but also tunein.com. You can hear yourself on the radio. That really, before we talk about your background, it's amazing how technology, your Twitter handles, your Ravens 24/7, talk about your background, how everything is connected on the internet. You and I did my Sports Highlights TV show 10 years ago, and it's just amazing how everything is local because of the internet now.
Yeah, it's a great tool, and when you get into this business, it just changes so quickly, Greg. And when I started as a hobby, as I started it before they even called them blogs. I had what I called a little web page, and it started to grow, and the technology helped it to grow, and that helps the reachability of your content and whatnot. And once you do that, you're able to attract new advertisers and new customers, and it allows you to grow. And it's been really cool to see it all develop. But you're right, with the advent of the social media particularly, organizations that spent a lot of time or invested a lot of money into breaking news stories, all of a sudden that's changed, because I don't think consumers of content are all that concerned about who broke the story. They just want to consume the content, and whether if you happen to break one story, 5 seconds later, somebody else is retweeting it, re-reporting it, and the value of that breaking news story just isn't the same anymore.
A little background about Tony. Of course, he's been involved with several different websites. We'll give us his Twitter handles in just a few moments. Lifelong Colts fan before they moved in the early 80s. Big Burt Jones, Johnny Unitas fan. You remember him when they played for the Colts, of course. The Ravens have won 2 Super Bowls, and they've had their share of drama. The ironic thing was Marchibroda was their first coach, the former Colts coach, back in 96 to 98 before Brian Billick came. They went through the Super Bowl, went through the Ray Lewis drama, the post-Ray Lewis drama, the lack of national respect in the media. and of course now this. And one thing I will say this too, and covering the Ravens since '03, and of course you followed them a lot closer since the beginning in '96, is that their general manager, of course, their PR director, are former Browns people from Art Modell's regime with the Cleveland Browns. It just seems like Ozzy's never been transparent, even when there's no drama. Bisciotti's never really liked talking to the media at all. You can see it's very awkward for him. And now they're thrust in this place they don't want to be in. Ironically, they're 2-1. They got a big game against the Panthers, are hungry for a win. And still nobody's talking about the Panthers or even Steve Smith playing his old team, at least nationally outside the scope of the Baltimore area.
Yeah, that's a great point. And I know that John Harbaugh, props to him, because he's done a real good job of keeping the team focused, because since all this happened that Monday when that second TMZ tape was released of Ray Rice, that was heading into that Thursday night contest against the Steelers, the arch rival Steelers, and they were able to pull off a pretty convincing victory, the 26-6 win at home, and then followed that up with a comeback win in Cleveland. So it's been really a challenge for those guys to keep the players focused on the field, but that's almost like their sanctuary. That's the place where they can go to get away from all this noise that they're tired of hearing about it. But back to Ozzie Newsome and Steve Bisciotti. Ozzie is a guy who has always been uncomfortable, in my opinion, in front of the media, and he's a guy who is, he'd prefer to talk about football. He'd prefer to talk about, the University of Alabama. He'd prefer to talk about some of the players that, they think are pretty good, that have NFL potential, and that's where he's comfortable. But outside of that, and he's also comfortable talking about free agents and teams, that players that can help the team going forward. But when he talks about things like domestic violence, things that have a negative or put a blemish on the Ravens from a PR perspective, he's like a complete fish out of water. Now, Steve Bisciotti, I have the opportunity to spend about 2-3 hours a year with him on this TV show that we do in Ocean City, Maryland. And he's been doing that. I think this will be his 7th or 8th year doing it with us, assuming he's still owner, which I'm hoping he will be. But, this will be, I think, 7th or 8th time. And the thing that strikes me most about Steve is he's very honest. He's brutally candid at times, and is not afraid to answer questions. And I think you saw that in that press conference where Kevin Byrne, the Ravens director of PR, was going to cut the press conference short, and he's like, "No, I'm here to take as many questions as you guys want to fire at me." And I thought it was really interesting too, Greg, that he wasn't sitting or standing behind a podium, nor was he sitting behind a table. He was standing or sitting on a high-top chair that exposed him completely. And I think there was a message there to say, here I am, throw any questions you want at me, and I'll be happy to answer those.
And you notice in the press conference, we're talking to Tony Lombardi. This is Greg Picaveras live on the radio on News Talk 1650, your home for CBS News with Ken Johnson. This is Sports Scene every Wednesday, 12 to 1. For archive shows, go to gjbtv.com. Hit the YouTube link, powered by HamptonRoadsOnlineMall.com. You mentioned Cass, the president, Byrne, Ozzie, and Harbaugh all kind of getting together, making decisions. But again, losing a lot of respect for them, throwing Harbaugh onto the bus in a very uncomfortable situation. When President Obama doesn't make a speech, for example, he has his press secretary doing some talking. Where's Byrne been? I mean, he's Mr. Cleveland Browns, Mr. Baltimore Ravens, supposed to be great with PR. Where's he been behind all this? Where's Ozzie Newsome been? Bisciotti's coming out now, but you look at the Panthers, who the Ravens are playing, they've had their issues with Hardy as well. Their general manager looks like a fish out of water talking about this. There's no template for what's going on. I get that. But you know what? That's the police's job, to handle some of this drama as well. It just seems like right now everything in the NFL is a mess. Here we are. We got a Thursday night game with the Redskins and the Giants. Still nobody's talking about it. It just seems like this is a spiral that's going to take possibly a couple months to get rid of.
It really will, and I think it just boils down to this, Greg, that we've seen in the NFL issues, off the field issues before, whether they be domestic violence, banned substances, drug abuse, hit and run, vehicular manslaughter. We've seen it all, and none of them have had anywhere near. You could add up all the attention all those got, and it wouldn't even approach the attention that this case has gotten. I think that there's two reasons for that. One, it boils down to visual evidence. Those other cases didn't have that visual evidence. And number two, I think the fact that you've got opposing sides that aren't really taking responsibility for it in a full way, and they're pointing the finger at other people. You know, the NFL maybe indirectly is saying the Ravens are at fault. The Ravens are saying the NFL's at fault, and ESPN's at fault. So it's he said, and I think that that's perpetuating the longevity of this topic and the reason why so many people are focused upon it in the NFL. And you know what? At the end of the day, I think it's kind of sad because, you know, you go to watch football for the enjoyment of the game, to get away from life for a little bit, and to, you know, develop yourself in something that's fun and gives something a little bit back. And now, you know, fans are really getting fed up. And I'm starting to believe, we did a poll on our site the other day that of the fans that, as I said, basically posed the question, has this affected your love affair with the Baltimore Ravens? 76% said no, but 24% said in some way, shape, or form it has. And 5% of those said that they're done with the NFL altogether. So I wonder if this is something that's just localized or if it's something that is representative of the entire country.
Yeah, being in broadcasting since I've been 19, I've been neutral. As a kid, I was a big fan of the Dolphins and the Redskins and, of course, the Colts. But as you get older, you don't have as much in common with these athletes. You know, you respect the team, the organizations, but then you see stuff like this. The only thing that comes close to the negative drama was the O.J. Simpson case, but there was no internet back then to amount to anything. And, of course, the Kansas City Chiefs player, you know, who shot, you know, his family, of course, there was a negative thing, but that didn't even have the sting this does.
Not even close. And like I said, I think it's the visual evidence, and I think it's the fact that there's no resolution to it. I mean, in all those other cases, there seemed to be, outside of OJ, there seemed to be a resolution to it fairly quickly. This has nothing, no resolution in sight. And then, like I said, a lot of people are blaming each other, and no one seems to be accepting full responsibility. And I think that just perpetuates the situation.
Well, let's switch gears a little bit. Talk about the Ravens. They started off slow against the Bengals. They've done pretty well considering all this drama with, they beat the Steelers handily, came back and, you know, did well against the Browns, at least played very well offense, defense, special teams for the most part. Now they played the Panthers. You know, it's still early. It's hard to get a gauge of this season because, you know, it's still so early, but every game seems like it's got some type of playoff drama. Just ask the Jets, who lost to the Bears the other night.
It does have a lot of drama. And you know, when I think about that we're approaching the quarter pole of the regular season, it's kind of shocking, and it's because of all the distractions off the field that, you know, takes your eye away from what's happening on the field. But as far as what is happening on the field for the Ravens, I think they're still pretty much a work in progress. In 2013, the biggest, if you had to say what was the Ravens' Achilles heel that kept them out of the playoffs for the first time in 6 years last season, I would say it was the play of the offensive line. And they seem to really have fixed that. And that's a plus because in a Gary Kubiak offense, you really need to run the football to set up the pass. So I think there's things to build upon there. Well, on the defensive side of the ball, I think that the Achilles heel has been, number one, injuries so far this year. And number two, I think that they're still trying to get that defensive secondary in gear so that they can, you know, Dean Pease, the defensive coordinator for the Ravens, can trust his front seven to blitz a little bit more than they're doing because they're not doing a lot of it now. And I think part of that is because they don't know where that secondary is going to be.
Yeah, because after this, they got the Colts and they got the Buccaneers and then, of course, the Falcons. Those are all winnable games. Talking to Tony Lombardi. Tony, go ahead and give us your website and all your relevant Twitter handles.
My website is russellstreetreport.com. You can also get there by Ravens247.com. That's what we used to be called until we grew, Greg, and the Ravens made us change our name. So we're russellstreetreport.com and Ravens247.com. You can find us on Facebook at Ravens247, and you can find us on Twitter at Russell ST Report.
Talking to Tony Lombardi, Greg Picaveras, this is Sports Scene. And what an exciting time, too, in the region, too. You know, Maryland's in the Big Ten. The Orioles are going to the postseason. The Nationals are going to the postseason. The Redskins have had their share, of course, drama always, but a little bit more low-key, not as much a dramatic coach with Gruden compared to Shanahan. So a lot of exciting things in the Baltimore-Washington area, but then this has kind of clouded everything.
It really has, and it's a shame for all those athletes. You know, for those guys that have worked, you know, all the off season, whether it be Redskins or Orioles or Nationals or Ravens, these athletes, I know sometimes people think, well, they've got the greatest jobs in the world. They get paid all this money to play a kid's game, and to a certain degree that's true, but the fact that they're the best in the world at what they do and the fact that the way they train to maintain that level of play, it's a lot of work. And all that gets cast aside when, your teammate, particularly like with the Ravens, your teammate is being, dragged through the mud and, his family is disgraced. And it's a disruptive force. And all the things that you did as a team and individually to try to excel, they somehow, it makes it harder for them to be what they want to be. And that's why I give John Harbaugh and his staff a lot of credit for keeping these guys focused on playing the game.
Talking to Tony Lombardi, talking NFL, talking Ravens. Greg Bicoveris live on the radio sports scene on News Talk 1650. Tell your friends. Find them on Twitter. Find me at Greg Bick at Sports Highlight at GJBTV, HROnlineMall.com. This show is powered by HamptonRoadsOnlineMall.com. That's right, HamptonRoadsOnlineMall.com. Everything retail in Hampton Roads. And as Tony was mentioning, that sponsors support everything we do, whether it's radio, TV, the internet these days. And of course, the Ravens are trying to get their image built up, on the websites and stuff like this. And let's talk a little bit more about Ozzie, the former Browns great player, because a lot of people don't know him that well. Like you said, he's been there forever as the general manager, but he's always, even when you go to games there, kind of quick, kind of, distant, kind of has a wall in front of him, while Brian Billick, who he was there with for years, was totally opposite. Billick, former Fox TV analyst, now works at the NFL Network, was opposite. Art Modell, was very involved with the TV, especially with his days with the Browns. But, Ozzie, I got to wonder, does Ozzie always get a pass? I mean, does he ever take the shortcomings? To me, this is just an example how we know Ozzie hiding behind a wall, letting others do the talking. But what's his future with the Ravens?
That's a great question, because if I had to characterize Ozzie, he's a guy who is very honest. He's a guy who loves the NFL. He loves the players. He loves the organization. And he would just prefer to focus on football 24/7. Unfortunately, football is a big business. And with big business, there comes things that are off the field that affect that business. And as a general manager, you have to get involved. But, the Ravens have surrounded him with people that have taken a lot of that off his plate.
Sure.
You've got Kevin Byrne, who's been the Ravens are recognized for years as being one of the best PR groups in the league, and they're awarded that way as well. And you've got Dick Cass, who's had, he's a big legal background, and he's worked with Jerry Jones with the Dallas Cowboys, and now he's being like the right hand for Steve Bisciotti. So you've got these guys that surround Ozzie that I think do some of the things that that other GMs might do. And then you've got, you mentioned Brian Billick, and Brian Billick's successor, John Harbaugh. They've done a really nice job of being the faces of the organization. So it's allowed Ozzie to keep that Teflon coating and to keep behind the scenes without having to really delve into much that isn't related to actual football on the field.
True, absolutely. Of course, every coach's got their own different personality, and of course, so forth and so on. What are your thoughts in general about this whole NFL season, about Goodell in general? To me, it seems like he's taken a lot of heat, but of course, now the Ravens have seemed like they're more in the heat this week than they were last week, and this whole thing now, it just seems like the whole TMZ video. Who would have thought, Tony? The whole TMZ video, not the most credible organization in the world, but yet they've been pretty consistent with this, have just totally blown up the PR of the National Football League. Totally caught every 32 teams off kilter.
They really have, and in a way, Greg, you can say that the Ravens, and to a bigger degree, the league, really was asleep at the switch with this one. I mean, they've got a lot to lose, and I got to think it was laziness. And I will, until proven otherwise, because I did this with Ray Rice, and I was proven otherwise, because not that I took his side, but I believe that maybe something else happened inside that elevator than what we saw from the first video.
Sure.
So until I saw it, I wasn't going to, get in line and label him a wife beater or a fiance beater. I wasn't going to do that until I saw that. Now, the same thing with the NFL with Roger Goodell, and he's saying he didn't see that video and he didn't really request, vehemently to see that video. And the Ravens are saying the same thing. But to me, if you want to act upon something like this in a sufficient manner and you have the means to get that video, I can't believe that that's not the first thing on your mind to resolve that issue.
They should know cameras are everywhere. Exactly.
Right. So if we're going to believe what they said, and as I said before, I'm going to, until proven otherwise, that they didn't request that video, I think it reeks of arrogance. It reeks of laziness.
Cover up.
And I'm only going to say cover up unless they did request or they did see the video and now they're saying they never saw the video. I'll only go down that lane unless I hear that. But it just reeks of arrogance that they're beyond approach, and they're Teflon and they can do no wrong.
Sure.
And then on the other side, it's just laziness. If you've got something that's a $9 billion business, wouldn't you go to some extremes to make sure you protect its image?
Tony, 1 second. Thanks a lot for joining us, my friend. Always a pleasure to talk to you, and we'll talk to you down the road.
CBS News Update. I'm Steve Kathan.
The United States of America will not be distracted or deterred from what must be done.
And President Obama, before the UN General Assembly, says what must be done is a military effort to degrade and destroy ISIS, the terror group in Iraq and Syria.
Today I ask the world to join in this effort.
His speech came on the heels of a second round of U.S. strikes on targets.
Those who continue to fight for a hateful cause will find they are increasingly alone. For we will not succumb to threats, and we will demonstrate that the future belongs to those who build, not those who destroy.
Unconfirmed reports say the leader of the Khorasan terror group has been killed, and ISIS-linked militants in Algeria are said to have murdered a French hostage. Mr. Obama, in his speech at the UN, also touched on the Ukraine crisis.
America and our allies will support the people of Ukraine as they develop their democracy and economy. We will impose a cost on Russia for aggression.
CBS News Update. I'm Steve Kathan.
We paused to reflect. Actually, I was in the other room. Anyway, quick update on traffic. Crash 264 westbound before Newtown Road. Left lane's blocked off. Looks like they may have that blocked off also for ponding of water. Battlefield Boulevard, Great Bridge northbound lane closure for about another half hour if they're still doing that in the rain. Downtown Tunnel westbound overnight closures 8 p.m. to 5 a.m. through Thursday. Single lane closures in the eastbound side 8 p.m. to 5 a.m. through Thursday. And the full eastbound Downtown Tunnel closes 8 p.m. Friday night to 5 a.m. Monday until they change it. Cloudy and windy rain, afternoon thunderstorms 72. Cloudy and thunderstorms tonight with 67 degrees for the low. Mostly cloudy tomorrow with a high of 73 degrees. Sports Scene continues with Greg Bigaveris in just a couple of minutes right here on AM 1650. When it comes to automobile service in Hampton Roads, Fink's Car Care is the destination locals have counted on for decades. Family owned and operated, they specialize in transmission service, oil changes, state inspection, radiator service, tires, alignments, and showcase Win Automotive products. Fink's does it all. Military and senior discounts are available. Find them on Facebook and visit them on South Military Highway in Chesapeake and Victory Boulevard in Portsmouth, Monday through Saturday. For more, log on to finkscarcare.com and call 545-3573 today.
The tradition of the Newport News Greek Festival continues with the fall edition October 23rd through 25th. All of your favorite Greek food, beverages, desserts will all be on display at 60 Trafford Road in Newport News inside the Hellenic Center on the grounds of Saints Constantine and Helen Greek Orthodox Church. October 23rd, 4 to 9 p.m. and October 24th and 25th from 11 a.m. to 10 p.m. For more, log on to newportnewsgreekfestival.org. See you at the Newport News Greek Festival Fall Edition October 23rd through 25th.
Now back to Greg Bicaveris and Sports Scene in the Hampton Roads Online Mall.com studio. It's now time for Greg's Highlights on Sports Scene, presented by GJBTV.com Marketplace Sponsors page.
And I want to thank Tony Lombardi from talking about the Ravens up in Baltimore. And Ken, really what dramatic stuff the NFL has gone through with that TMZ video and the Ravens. Nobody's even talking about the football games. They're looking at these players as like, well, let me do a background check before I even watch you. I've never worshipped athletes. I'm in broadcasting. I stay neutral. People always ask me, Greg, who's your favorite team? When I was a kid, I was a fan. My dad was a big Ohio State fan. I don't worship athletes. I really don't care about athletes. And it's obvious why my gut feeling was always right, because you know what they do after hours affects how you think about them on hours.
Yeah, and a lot of young boys and girls do look up to athletes, so it's important, if you're going to have somebody for a role model, that they should be a well-rounded citizen, not just good on the sports field, on the gridiron or whatever they are. They should be a good person all the way around to be a total role model. Many of them are. We have to put that codicil in. There are some athletes who are good people and do some good work and work for charities and help people out and treat the fans right. But there's some bad eggs, and we're hearing about them now. You have to winnow those out. I don't care how good they are on the field. If they're not a well-rounded person and a part of the team, maybe they shouldn't be on the team.
Absolutely. Derek Jeter, who's retiring with the Yankees, definitely a good role model. Cal Ripken as well when he played for the Orioles. Don't forget GJBTV.com for archive shows. Click the YouTube link on the homepage. Very simple. Right there from your computer or your phone. Shop on the marketplace sponsors of GJBTV.com. Holidays coming up in the fourth quarter as well. Also Hampton Roads Online Mall.com. Take a look at Marketplace 1, 2, and 3. It's like a virtual mall. You never know what you're going to see behind door 1, door 2, or door 3. That's the whole point. You want to browse, shop, and visit, as it says on HamptonRoadsOnlineMall.com. Save the date each Wednesday, live on the radio for Sports Scene from 12 to 1. We interact with you on Twitter. Thank you to all the great Twitter followers as well. We'll have the media spotlight coming up next week, roundtable, also our fan roundtable with very well this summer. We'll have that again sometime in the fourth quarter as well. Great business spotlight scenes coming up soon. What teased me off, always going to be fun. You know, it's going to be a good one today. Sports highlights on nnpstv.com, gjbtv.com. Great guests. And don't forget, folks, for you looking for a job, Skin Deep Tattoo in Hampton is looking for a tattoo artist. Called 722-DEEP. That's 722-DEEP. If you're a good tattoo artist, give them a call at 722-DEEP, or tell a friend, hey, you need a job for a tattoo artist. Call 722-DEEP, D-E-E-P. Ken, we got What Teased Me Off. We got some great guests coming up soon. Stay tuned right here to News Talk 1650. This is Sports Scene.
Your family and their safety are your number one priority. Your homestead and your business and quality of life can give you peace of mind, but there are some bad hombres out there. Keep it all safe with the proper firearms and ammo from Battlefield Guns and Ammo. You can't take anything for granted, whether you're at the ranch or out on the trail. Call 757-410-7720. Log on to battlefield-guns.com and visit Battlefield Guns and Ammo at 240 North Battlefield Boulevard in Chesapeake.
Fink's Car Care is your place for all of your automotive needs. They handle state inspections, brakes, tune-ups, oil changes, transmission service, radiator repair. They have a wide variety of tires, and when it comes to your car, they do it all. Visit their two locations at 2711 Victory Boulevard in Portsmouth and 2236 South Military Highway in Chesapeake. For more, log on to finkscarcare.com and call 545-3573.
The place for authentic Indian food is the India Palace. They feature authentic Indian cuisine, have a party hall, and do catering and banquets. Open daily for lunch and dinner, they feature an excellent lunch buffet at their two establishments. Visit the two locations, 1437 Sam's Drive in Chesapeake off Battlefield and 5600 Virginia Beach Boulevard. Online, IndiaPalaceVB.com. On Facebook, look for India Palace Virginia Beach and India Palace Bar and Grill. Call 410-1183 for the India Palace. Now back to Greg Bicoveris and Sports Scene in the Hampton Roads Online Mall.com studio.
I see you move, I'm checking your smile, working your back like it's going out of style. Shake just a little bit faster.
All right, this overcast fall day. We are in the fall now in Hampton Roads. I'm still in denial. I like summer myself, but it's all good because, what comes with fall, then comes winter and so forth. But then again, always great times during the holiday season, which is right around the corner. You can shop on HamptonRoadsOnlineMall.com. Hope you enjoyed our first guest, Tony Lombardi, talking about all the drama in the NFL and the Ravens. This is Sports Scene every Wednesday from 12 to 1. Save the date for the Newport News GreekFestival.org as well. So one of the great things to do in Hampton Roads is go to some wonderful museums. And Ken Johnson, we got some wonderful ones here. The Virginia Living Museum, the marketing manager, webmaster, of course, Judy Triska is here to join us. She worked at Channel 10 for several years. How are you in this very cold day here in Hampton Roads as far as the weather, making it kind of dreary? We'll get with her in just a second. But you talk about what to do in Hampton Roads as far as so many different things going on, and excellent things going on is the Virginia Living Museum, and we're going to have Judy Triska here. All right, Judy, you there with us now?
Hey, Greg, how are you?
Don't go nowhere, honey. We got to keep you on the radio here.
Very good.
Very good.
It was probably our state-of-the-art two tin cans and a string.
I think it's those dinosaurs that are affecting the radio here anyway.
I don't know, or maybe the weather today. Who knows? It's a little rainy.
Tell us about your background. You worked at Channel 10 for a long time as well.
I did. I was with Wavy TV and as their creative services director, but now I am absolutely thrilled to be here with the Virginia Living Museum. I've been here for coming up on 5 years, so absolutely love it.
Well, kind of a chilly, damp day today. Today is a perfect day to go to a museum, isn't it, Judy?
Oh, it is, because I'll tell you, indoors and outdoor, sometimes you don't always get those indoor options, and we absolutely have it here. We have indoor exhibits that absolutely keep you out of the rain, as well as outdoor exhibits, but definitely a place where you can go when the weather maybe isn't as good as you'd like it to be.
When it rains, it gets chilly and cold, and we don't like that. But anyway, that's what the museum is for. Let's give a little background first. The VLM.org, Virginia Living Museum, is located at 524 J. Clyde Morris in Newport News. Very convenient. We've got Judy Triska, the marketing manager, with us. And Judy, it's fall at the Virginia Living Museum. Great time to be outdoors, and the Abbott Planetarium open with fall shows right now.
Oh, it is. It is. We have our fall shows, a selection of 3 different shows for you this fall, starting October the 1st, and it's in our Abbott Planetarium. A lot of people don't know we have a planetarium here, but it's a full dome theater experience, and for just a small fee, you can add that to your experience at the museum, and members always get in free.
Absolutely. And, of course, let's talk about the hours and as far as the admission prices for the week and the weekends.
Right. We're open daily from 9 to 5 Monday through Saturday. And then on Sundays we're open from noon to 5 o'clock. Tickets are $17 for adults and $13 for children ages 3 to 12. And, of course, membership is always the best deal. 2 days visiting, membership pays for itself. So we really ask for everybody to consider that. There's so many great, great benefits to that.
One thing a lot of school-age children come on in. My sister, she taught school in Williamsburg for several years, always brought her school kids there and even brought her baby there this past summer. They really enjoy the planetarium. It's really a show and tell that's excellent.
Yes, yes. The planetarium is really something different to really connect people to the space in the skies and between our laser shows and the programs that we have. It's really something different, and it seats about 70 people. We'd love for folks to add that to their experience here.
We're talking to Judy Triska, marketing manager of the Virginia Living Museum, of course, in Newport News, Virginia. This weekend, the native plant sale.
Yes. Yes, it's weekend 2. We had a great weekend last weekend, and we're gearing up for another one coming up here this weekend, September 27th and 28th. It's our fall native plant sale. We also do a spring native plant sale, and we just offer a wide variety of plants that are being sold. And Greg, native plants are the best choices for gardeners because they tolerate our weather and they serve as a food and habitat for our area wildlife. So we really, really encourage people to have their gardens, keep native plants in their gardens, and we sell a great variety here have a great horticulture staff and volunteers that can answer all of your gardening needs. And if you go on our website, you can see a full list of plants for sale. And the sale, again, this Saturday and Sunday, September 27th and 28th. And it's open and free to the public. So, you can just come on in and shop if you'd like.
And how about Monarch Feet and Night of the Living Museum later this month?
Yes, we have October 4th. It's actually Monarch Fest, and it's sponsored by Monarch Bank. Of course, it's Monarch season, and if you like butterflies, you won't want to miss this. It's from 10 to 4 on October the 4th, and you will experience a variety of butterfly-themed activities, crafts, and actually you can experience the process of tagging and releasing our monarch butterflies, which is really something if you've never seen it before. They migrate and begin their journey to Mexico this time of year. So to see this system of tagging and releasing them is really a fascinating process. And that Monarch Fest, again, October 4th, is included in our daily admission.
And the Night of the Living Museum is October the 18th.
Oh, my gosh, who doesn't love Halloween stuff?
Sure.
So you got to get your costume ready because we'll be expecting you. It's for the 15th year. The Virginia Living Museum is offering its Not So Spooky Halloween Party. It's for families. And everyone, including the staff, the volunteers, we all dress up, and you can enjoy pumpkin carving games, trick-or-treating, as well as our creepy critters. We have our nocturnal animals, the owls and the bats. It's just great Halloween fun at its best. And we do ask that if you are able to buy tickets in advance, you get $1 off. But we still do sell the tickets at the door for full price. But that's $9 for members, $12 for non-members. And again, that's October 18th from 5 to 8 p.m.
And the website is thevlm.org. The phone number is
THEVLM.org.
Yeah, and the phone number is 595-1900, correct?
Correct.
Very good, Judy. We're going to make this a continued series, October, November, December, January, and go from there. We look forward to more of your time, talent, and treasure, and all the good things you and Virginia are doing literally at the Virginia Living Museum. All the best to you and the great staff.
Thank you, Greg, so very much. We appreciate it. It's a great fall here at the museum.
My pleasure. Okay, Ken Johnson, that was Judy Triska. Little phone issues there at first, but, the weather has something to do with it. But, you notice on days like this, Ken, when the rain comes out and it's a little cooler, people tend to gravitate indoors.
Oh, yeah, and we did have internet issues earlier. Yeah, it's not a nice thing about some of the places like the Virginia Living Museum. They've got inside and outside attractions. Many of the other attractions in the area have similar things, too, which makes it usable year-round. You can go to the Virginia Living Museum if it's nice sunny day outside and enjoy the outside. If it's a rainy day like this, there's plenty to do indoors. So the places that do it smart, like the Virginia Living Museum, offer you year-round entertainment and education.
Yeah, it's got an email from one of our great listeners, also filled in a few weeks ago, Pat Murphy, of course, listening. Thank you, Pat, for all your feedback as well. Used to work with Ken and I at another news talk station. You still hear him occasionally doing some commercials here. Did a great job filling in a few weeks ago. But, when it's cold and wet, you want to go indoors, folks. You don't want to be driving on the road because, Ken, we're going to talk about that on What Teased Me Off, how the disastrous thing that you and I grew up with, the tolls in Virginia Beach, is now haunting this area where the director of transportation has got to say, look, get it right or move on. That's not good.
Absolutely, and it's been an issue. It was an issue even before it occurred because it's been a problem in other places, and the way the system was even set up in the first place and created had a lot of people doing the Spock eyebrow raise.
Very, very good. All right, stay tuned. We'll be back after this with more of Sports Scene. The tradition of the Newport News Greek Festival continues with the fall edition October 23rd through 25th. All of your favorite Greek food, beverages, desserts will all be on display at 60 Trafford Road in Newport News inside the Hellenic Center on the grounds of Saints Constantine and Helen Greek Orthodox Church. October 23rd, 4 to 9 p.m. and October 24th and 25th from 11 a.m. to 10 p.m. For more, log on to newportnewsgreekfestival.org. See you at the Newport News Greek Festival Fall Edition October 23rd through 25th.
When it comes to automobile service in Hampton Roads, Fink's Car Care is the destination locals have counted on for decades. Family owned and operated, they specialize in transmission service, oil changes, state inspection, radiator service, tires, alignments, and showcase Win Automotive products. Fink's does it all. Military and senior discounts are available. Find them on Facebook and visit them on South Military Highway in Chesapeake and Victory Boulevard in Portsmouth, Monday through Saturday. For more, log on to finkscarcare.com and call 545-3573 today.
Your family and their safety are your number one priority. Your home, your business, and quality of life provide peace of mind. Your security can be enhanced with the proper firearms and ammo from Battlefield Guns and Ammo. Never take anything for granted, whether you're at home or away. Call 757-410-7720, log on to battlefield-guns.com, and visit Battlefield Guns and Ammo at 240 North Battlefield Boulevard in Chesapeake.
The place for authentic Indian food is the India Palace. They feature authentic Indian cuisine, have a party hall, and do catering and banquets. Open daily for lunch and dinner, they showcase an excellent lunch buffet at their Chesapeake and Virginia Beach locations. Visit their 2 locations at 1437 Sam's Drive in Chesapeake off of Battlefield Boulevard and 5600 Virginia Beach Boulevard in Virginia Beach, and online at IndiaPalaceVB.com. On Facebook, look for India Palace Virginia Beach and India Palace Bar and Grill. Dine at the India Palace today.
Now back to Greg Bicaveras and Sports Scene in the Hampton Roads Online Mall.com studio.
But first, let me take a selfie.
All right, thank you very much, Ken Johnson. Glad you're with us on this very wet, kind of chilly fall day in Hampton Roads. How the weather's just changed overnight. Good day to be indoors. Good day to get some chocolate, too, as well. We'll get to that in just a second. Hope you enjoyed our first 2 guests, Tony Lombardi, talking about the Ravens and the NFL drama, as well as the young lady, Judy Triska, talking about the Virginia Living Museum. Let's switch gears, talk all things retail now. One of my 2 favorite people in the world, of course, Brenda Tusing, the owner of the Royal Chocolate, her and her partner, Terry, over there in Virginia Beach at the Town Center. How are you in this cool, chilly Wednesday?
I am great, Greg. How are you today?
It's a great day to be indoors, isn't it? The Royal Chocolate.
And I am. I have just made myself a cup of tea.
Yes,
how about that?
Absolutely. Let's talk about the Royal Chocolate. You're coming up on several years now.
Yeah, actually, it's year 8. December 15th of this year is our 8-year anniversary. It's flown by, absolutely flown by.
Talk about your location before we get into the meat of the interview here.
We are at 164 Central Park Avenue in the Virginia Beach Town Center.
And, of course, you can find them on Facebook, and they interact as well right there, theroyalchocolate.com. And really, it's so nice, too, when you have a website like yours that people from all over the world, it makes it local. They can get chocolate anywhere. Do you guys ship pretty much anywhere?
We do ship. We will start shipping again here very shortly as the weather cools. We do deliver locally all year long, but our shipping, we have a temperamental product. We wouldn't want somebody to have a melted chocolate on their hands when they got it. So probably another couple weeks we'll begin shipping, certainly for the holidays, which we're gearing up for right now.
It starts making you feel like on a day like this. All right, what's new at the Royal Chocolate? Here we are in September. Pretty much the tourists have gone, but the locals are here. They want their candy. And the one thing, too, Brenda, that you and Terry do, you've always got different things there, different products. It's really like walking into a Willy Wonka wonderland there. I mean, it's just a chocolate paradise there.
It really is, and that was our intention 8 years ago when we started this, was to keep things fresh, keep them new. We've entered the fall season, so we're all about pumpkin, our pumpkin muffins, which people begin to ask for those sometimes in August. Are the pumpkin muffins here? Are they here? They're wonderful. We're going to run a special on those this weekend on our Facebook page and also on an email blast. So we've got pumpkin everything, truffles, we've got all kinds of pumpkin fudge. Our apple of the month starting next month, I believe, will be a pumpkin fudge apple. So, yeah, we're all about the fall. We're moving into the busiest 3 months of the year for us. So we're really gearing up and trying to introduce a lot of new things to our locals. They like to come in and see something fresh. They want to, we have a chocolate bar with some banana ash or coconut ash and banana. Very unusual. They want that. They want to see some creative things going on in the chocolate world.
Yeah, not to mention, too, right after the first of the year, you got Valentine's Day, so it's another, candy date there. What else is going on new as far as the store?
To do more events. We have been planning through the summer. We have an event coming up next week, which actually I think we only have 2 seats left for that.
Sure.
So wine and chocolate pairing with sommelier Crystal Cameron, and that's going to be a lot of fun. We're having Santa with kids, taking pictures with kids I guess that'll be in December. We've got mimosas and muffins coming up, so you need to stay tuned for that.
Yeah. And, of course, you can go to HamptonRoadsOnlineMall.com, see her link on Marketplace One.
We are.
And, of course, TheRoyalChocolate.com, the #1 chocolate destination in Virginia. And, of course, retail is so exciting, you know, and you and I talked about some different retail things as well. But this is the time of the year, like you said, where people are buttoning up and, you know, they have to really start thinking, you know, 2 months away now, Brenda, is Thanksgiving. What better dessert to have than a little chocolate to go with your turkey?
Hey, wait till our 5-pound turkeys show up.
Oh, talk about that.
Yeah, that's coming soon. We have a lot of things for Thanksgiving, and certainly our 5-pound turkey is on the list. So you need to come in and check those out. They're pretty impressive.
Yeah.
So yeah, retail's happening, and you know we're big members of Retail Alliance.
Sure.
And they're about to debut a brand new app, the Virginia Lover Program, which will be all about locals and shopping local and interactive app where you can get rewards and earn points for things in a variety of local retail stores.
It's all about retail, and of course, I like how you and Terry have the theme. Like right now, my sister and her daughter are all about Halloween at their house. You guys are doing the same thing with your shop, kind of the same thing.
Yeah, we do. If you look on our Facebook page, you have to just check out these Oreos that we do.
Oh.
That's all I'm going to say.
Cool.
Just look us up on Facebook and check out those, and you could glimpse our pumpkin muffins while you're there.
Yeah, and next month. And next month you'll talk more about the Thanksgiving stuff too as well.
Sure
well,
will.
Very good. Give us your store hours again.
We are open Monday through Saturday from 10 a.m. to 9 p.m. We're open Sunday 12 to 5.
Very good. TheRoyalChocolate.com. Phone number is 557-6925. That's 557-6925. TheRoyalChocolate.com. It's always sweet at The Royal Chocolate.
We are very sweet.
Very good. Brenda, thanks a lot. You stay dry.
Thank you, Greg.
Talk to you next month.
Soon.
Okay, very good. All right. Brenda Tusing right there. And, of course, for us that grew up on the peninsula on the south side, there's nothing like a great candy shop there, Ken.
There used to be quite so many, but now they're gone. There used to be Fanny Farmer at Janiff. There's a little flashback for some of you folks out there. The sweet shops at Tallheimer's of Broad Street in Richmond. It was a whole section, it was a whole corner of a block that was nothing but candy and sweets and things. They're few and far between, but so we're lucky to have folks like Brenda that's keeping that tradition alive.
Yeah, we used to go see Santa up there in Richmond too, or Newport News, whatever. But anyway, it's that time of the year. 3 more months, Christmas, Thanksgiving, 2 months away. Kind of a cool, wet day in Hampton Roads. What better way to celebrate than with candy? Ken, let's get to what teased me off.
What Tees You Off? Presented by DJBTV.com.
Ken, a lot of times when you're watching a game, you hear this loud music in the PA system just to remove the awkward silence that, there people are just bored before a game. But it's amazing that it's always the before and after, whether you go to a movie, whether it's the ads before the movie, or before you get into what you want to actually do or see, you're constantly interrupted and distracted. So by the time you watch the game, watch the TV show, or watch the movie, you might have already wandered off into sleep or just lost interest.
Yeah, I like the way, and it'll never happen here, but it would be nice if it did, the way the British do television. Mm-hmm. They have all the commercials in one big block, either before or after the show. The rest of the show is uninterrupted.
It's amazing the drama, Ken, with a microphone. This microphone could be any AM, FM station, TV channel, movie narrator, but the drama behind this mic, and this poor mic has no idea whether it's a movie, an AM, an FM, whether it's somebody narrating this week in, news, whatever, but it's the drama is not the mic or the station. It's sometimes who we have to work with.
Oh, gosh, yes. And there are some strange people in broadcasting.
I was at a bank yesterday, and, of course, banks usually are quiet, cerebral. You go there, you deposit, or you take cash, or whatever. You talk to the manager, and they had the news on about that killer who killed his entire family. I'm like, really? You're going to blast that out in front of families and kids while they're trying to cash their check or do some business there? They ought to really think about just keeping on the Weather Channel, because you don't offend anybody with the Weather Channel, but the weather sometimes, like today, is offensive.
That'd be a good idea to have it on a Weather Channel. Yeah, news channel stations, you're taking a big chance. I understand the reasoning behind it, but boy, that's risky behavior. And you make a good point. Bad news can affect the parents may not have a chance to talk to their children about it.
Yeah, and the audio is blasting. Absolutely. People who say on Monday, Ken, call me next Monday. That's not good.
Call me 7 days from now.
People who only communicate when they need something, or like they plan an event a month in advance, then they realize, oh, I've got something else going on that day. I'll be able to go for an hour.
Oh, yeah. You'd be a little more coordinated with your schedule, kids.
Anything in life that does not evolve with time.
Well, I can't think of much.
Yeah. Getting bills, Ken, like, your power bills or, God forbid, the toll bills a month before they're due. They never seem to be late on bills.
You get the bills on time. It's the payments they're really worried about.
Automation. We are experiencing longer waits than ever on CSR. You hear that all the time when you call, like, your service people. Oh, we're experiencing longer waits. So you might be a 10 to 15-minute call. You want us to call you back. Then all of a sudden, boom, you get right to the. I think that's just a front to realize that people are lazy. They don't want to do any extra work. They want you to do all the work. They want an automated operator to do all the work.
Dial 3 if you would like this message in Latvian.
Very good. I want to thank our great guest today, Tony Lombardi. There's the music right there. Judy Triska, and, of course, Brenda Tusing. Great guests. Go to gjbtv.com. Hit the YouTube link for archive shows. HamptonRoadsOnlineMall.com. For Ken Johnson, I'm Greg Bicaveros. This is Sports Scene. Stay dry and warm. We'll talk to you soon.
Remnant Radio up next on AM 1650 WHKT in Portsmouth. It's 1 p.m.